So in bold, I mean, he has, taken inputs from many companies and he has come up with a standard format, which was used in olden days. So we can have date and time. So we can have trans ID. But end of the day, is programmer. You are going to decide. Programmer or even the stakeholder or the user, business user. So both can sit and decide what could be in the map set and what is the design. So here we can have a map name. This is also optional, but usually title will be there, date and time will be there, then the fields will be there. So what are the different types of fields? So we have only two types of fields: display only fields, or we can say they are labels, or user defined fields. Okay, display only fields or protected fields. These are protected. Okay, we cannot type there. Even if you would have seen any screen, we'll be searching where the cursor is present, where to place your mouse, because those are the fields which are unprotected. You can type there. If it's unprotected, you can type in the data there. Otherwise, you cannot type the data in protected fields. So display only fields or labels. Can you tell me what are the labels here? Can just Mrityunjay, Lakshmana.
Customer numbers. Customer number, name and
Type a customer number, then press enter. You have to tell fully. Or customer one. You have to tell this also. Okay. This also a
customer inquiry.
Customer inquiry. INQ map 1. Type a customer number, then press enter. Customer number, name and address, ... All these are display only. What about at the bottom? F3 equal to exit, F12 equal to cancel. So all these are display only fields. Display only fields means just it is only for display purpose, and we can also call it as a label. Okay, if you take any screen, even in modern days, there will be display only fields and user defined fields. Do we need a field name for this? Are you going to process this field in the program?
Yes, sir. Definitely, sir.
We are not going to process this data in program. These are just for display purpose.
Identification.
Just for display purpose. Then we have user defined fields. There are two types of user defined fields. Can you tell me what are the two types? User defined.
Username.
User defined. No. Tell me. Okay, I'll tell what it is. So user defined fields can be of two types, either an input field or an output field. Sometimes a field will be both input and output together. Okay, IO. So user defined fields are of two types, input and output. Can you tell me, it's an inquiry screen, can you tell me how many input fields are there and how many output fields are there?
One input field and one output field.
One input field, which is our input field?
Customer number.
Customer number input field. Then?
Name and address is output field.
Name and address output field.
Is the output field.
Anything else?
Warning messages.
Okay, that's good. So warning messages. Warning messages is an output field. Okay, anyone have any doubt? So these are the fields you are going to process in the program. Okay, these are the fields. It should have a field name. So see, earlier we used database, right? Last week we used DB2. So in DB2, what happened for if you want to process data in database, we had host variables. Through host variables, we receive data and we send data to database. Similarly, for all these fields, we'll be having some variables, a structure. Using that structure, there'll be input structure and output structure. Using that structure, we are going to receive the data into the program, process and send and populate the structure and send the data from program to screen. It's very easy. People think it's very complex, but anyway, tomorrow we are going to write. You'll know it's very easy. So earlier data came from database. Now data is going to come from online screen. That's all. If you want to get data from database, we used select statement. Okay, if you want data from screen to your program, what's the command? Can you guess? Only Pawan is answering. Sanjeev, Pawan. What about others? Had breakfast or not?
Receive, sir.
Receive. That's good. So Manasa has answered correctly. Receive. So if you in receive command, you are going to receive data from screen to program. Okay. A read command is going to read data from a file in -D to your program. Receive command is going to receive data from screen to program. And write command is going to write data from program to file in -D. So which command is going to send data from program to screen?
Send.
Send. That's
Send.
all. It's very simple. So it's not tough. People think it's very tough. Receive is going to receive data from screen to program. Send is going to send data from program to screen. That's all. It's very easy, but tomorrow we are going to see how to write those commands. But today we'll just create the maps. Creating maps is very, very easy. So here we have user defined fields. So for these fields, there should be a field name. Okay, these fields, there should be a field name. So we have customer number, that should be a field name. And name and address, there are 4 name and address, that should be a field name. Similarly, this message, warning message, that should be a field name. Unless we have a field name, we cannot process those data in program. Okay, unless that's a field name, we cannot process those data in program. So okay, just now let me repeat again. So this is a normal layout of any screen. We'll be having a screen title, and we'll be having headings. We'll be having labels and input and output fields. At the top right corners, we may be having a transaction code or date and time. And in the bottom, we'll be having a message, warning messages or success message, and then finally the list of function keys. So we can have function keys at the bottom. Okay, we can write program such that we can give functionality to the function keys through the program. If user presses F12, it is going to clear the screen. If user presses F3, they can come out of the program. So we are going to write a screen, and we are going to give functionality to the function keys through the program. It's very easy. It's very easy for every keyboard, because when you have a screen program, user can use any key in the keyboard, right? When you have a screen program, user can use any key in the keyboard. So program should respond to all the keys. That's a real challenge. And user can press enter any number of times. User can press escape any number of times. User can do anything. Even if you would have done a lot of things, right? If you open a screen, any profile or anything in online, you'll be, sometimes if it doesn't work, you'll be using all the keys, and you'll be keep on pressing submit button, and those other buttons will be resetting. We'll be doing everything, right? And if the program doesn't work, what will be your thinking? What will be your thought? You think the application is not useful, is useless. You'll have a bad image on the company which created that software, right? Sometimes what you'll be doing, you'll be refreshing the screen to know whether it is working or not, or you'll be closing the app or uninstalling or reinstall the app. So all these we would have done as a customer. Now we are going to write as a programmer. So think, if you are going to create a screen, user can use any keys in the keyboard. So we have to make sure all the keys are handled properly, and it's very easy to handle. Okay, easy to handle. Tomorrow we are going to see. So the design, what are the inputs and outputs are given by the user. You are going to talk to the user and design. But right now we are not creating many new screens at all. Okay, we are maintaining the old screens. But even if there are no screens also, there are plenty of non-conversational programs running in all the projects. And those are very difficult to understand sometimes. But those are small programs. They don't write large programs. They'll write just 200 lines for 300, 400, 100. So it's easy to maintain. But knowledge on real time is very easy. Very important. So here, suppose this is the ad screen. Assume it's an ad screen. It's inquiry, right? Where's the mouse? Okay, here. Suppose customer ad screen. Then how many input fields and how many output fields? This is a customer ad. Earlier it was an enquiry screen. Just think about Kranti, Kiran, Lakshmana. How many input fields? If it's an ad means what? They are going to input all the data and press enter. So how many input fields?
2 input field and 1 output field.
Both these are input fields. This is an output field. This is always going to be an output field. Okay. If it's an enquiry means we are writing customer number and press enter. We are going to display data. If it's addition, we are going to add everything, enter everything and press enter. So this is being stored in VSAM or DB2. That's all. So here, as you have told you, we have two types of fields. One is display only fields and data entry fields. So display only fields are used to display messages, captions, etc. And data entry fields will allow user to enter data into the screen. Okay, data into the screen. So and sometimes you would have seen, for example, if you take a Facebook itself, after typing data, what happens? Sometimes if you type data properly, it is not going to allow you to type it again, right? Sometimes it protects. You would have experienced this in Facebook or any other online profile or anything, any online screen. Once you have entered something, what it does, it protects the same data. It doesn't allow you to enter the same data again. I mean, those fields will be protected. So there are all these are done through programming. Even here we can do the same thing through programming. Okay, and these are some guidelines for color and position, but these are not really required. Usually the function keys display will be at the last line, which is line 24, and just before that line 23 will be having the warning messages. And as you are aware, the screen ID will be in line 1. Screen ID or screen title will be in line 1. Here screen ID mentions a map name. And these are some colors which are used as a standard. Neutral means white, green color, turquoise. We can give these colors when you define a screen. So what is turquoise? I think Skype is also turquoise. Skype color is also turquoise. And these are some function keys. If you want to use function keys in your screen program, these are some a common functionality of the function keys. F1 always denotes help. F3 denotes exit. Exit means it could be, if you are going to, we have your main menu and sub menu. If you press F3 in sub menu, it comes to main menu. And in main menu, you press F3, it is going to end the program itself, end the transaction. Okay, it depends on where you press F3. F3, it goes back, one step back. And as usual, F7, F8. In olden days, see, there are many banking programs still in mainframe. Not still, they're not retired at all. There are plenty of banking projects is in mainframe. And everywhere, kick screens are still there in back office. In back office, they'll be having, the screens, and they'll be having programs which will be having a scrolling logic. So if you want to check the statement for a specific range of dates, we have to create a screen and we have to have a scrolling logic. In those scrolling logic, we use F7, F8. F8 is to scroll up and down. So these are some common guidelines to fix the function keys, and we are going to handle those function keys in program, because we are going to write screen program. In screen program, user can use any key in the keyboard, and they can use any number of times also. For every time when user presses something, program is invoked, and program should respond properly, and program should not get confused and abandoned. So it's very easy, don't worry about that. Tomorrow we'll see. Now let's see an important thing. For every field, So we have a characteristic feature. Okay, for every field we have a characteristic feature, and this characteristic called as an attribute. Attribute means a characteristic feature. Like how a field, a label or a field. For example, in any field in working storage section, we have characteristic feature, whether it's alphanumeric or numeric, what is the length, what is the storage, whether it has a value, initial value, all these, right? Similarly, whenever you have define any screen, any field label only, or a display only, or user defined field in screen, there will be some characteristic features attached to it. So what are the different characteristics? Can you guess? So we can have set characteristics like color is a characteristic, and if it's a input or output field, okay, we can say either it's alphanumeric or numeric. Okay, we can also give initial value. Initial value means if it's an input field, there will be underline, which denotes it's an initial value. And since it's a screen program, it's a map set, we have to place the cursor. So placing the cursor is also a characteristic feature. So color, alphanumeric or numeric, initial value of a field, placing the cursor, and how data, see, it's a screen. Suppose if you are having say a price, unit price 9 of 6, value say 1000. How it is stored in files or databases? How 1000 is stored?
00100.
Okay. Now if you are going to display this in a screen, how are you going to display to the user? The same way?
1000.00.
1000. If it is V9 of 2, then dot 00 also. There is no decimal point, so I'm not. So 1 comma 00. Here will be blank, right? 2 blanks. So this is how we are going to display. So we are going to write. So whenever you display something to the screen, whenever you write a numeric field in a report, we should make sure it is edited. Okay, we need to have edit picture class. We can edit the numeric fields. So all these are characteristic feature of any field, and a field can be either an input field or an output field. Okay, a field can be either an input or output field. These are characteristic features. A field we can set a color. We can mention whether it's alphanumeric or numeric. We can set an initial value. We can place the cursor. Because it's a screen program, we are going to place the cursor appropriately. And since a number is stored in raw format in files and databases, when it is displayed to the user, we have to make sure it is edited and displayed properly. We cannot show the leading zeros, and we have to insert comma and dot at appropriate places. And all these characteristic feature will be stored in 1 byte. That's called attribute byte. Okay, this 1 byte will be present just before the variable. Okay, just before the variable. It could be a display only field, or it could be a user defined field. So we are going to have 1 byte. So this 1 byte denotes the attribute byte. What are the attributes? Color is an attribute. Data type is an attribute. What is the initial value is an attribute. Placing the cursor or editing the numeric field during display, it is also an attribute. So all the attributes are going to get stored in 1 byte. So 1 byte means how many bits? In 8 bits. In 8 bits, it is going to store the information. Okay, every bit has some information. So for example, the first bit Last bit is going to store some information like whether the data has to be sent to the program or not. So all these are it's going to store. Okay, but you need not remember all these. There are many easy ways to do set the color or change the color through program, and some initial color will be set only through Mapset itself. And where does attribute byte get stored? Just before the field, or label. So hereafter I will just tell these as labels. All display only fields are called labels. Hereafter I am going to refer these to fields. Fields means this will have a storage, length and type, and these are going to be used in program. Labels are not going to be used in program. They are used only for display purpose. Okay, so fields are not going to be used only for display purpose. They are going to be used in the program where we are going to process the fields, and we have input and output fields. Okay, so we are going to just saw a high level layout of a screen, and we have seen there's something called attribute. The attribute byte is stored just 1 byte before the label or a field, and it has 8 bits. In 8 bits, every bit is denotes something. Okay, I'll tell you that. And there are advanced CICS programming also not required for. And since you are freshers, we have only basic programming. And if you do whatever I have told, that's enough, more than enough. Okay, the location characteristic of screen fields are determined by special characteristic called attribute byte. An attribute byte takes up one position on screen, but is displayed as a space. Attribute byte cannot be seen. Okay, attribute byte is just stores just before the label or a field. It cannot be seen. So these are some standard field attributes. A field can be an alphanumeric or a numeric, and we can set the intensity also. Normal means a normal intensity, bright means very bright, dark means it doesn't display anything. See what I've seen. Well, let's take a sample screen. Let me log on. So all these are screen. Now you just see very carefully. This is also a screen. Okay, this is also a screen. We have date and time. See, date and time is updated every time. These are display only labels, and we have, this is the unprotected field. Okay, and for everything there will be attribute byte which will be stored here, which cannot be seen. We are going to have attribute byte stored here, which cannot be seen. Use tab, and I'm going to type the command. The next screen. See, can you see the different colors? White and red and blue, and some are highlighted. These are highlighting. Highlighting means, it's actually it's a reverse video. It's called reverse video. We can do it reverse video. Reverse video means it's like a negative picture. Okay, because the characters are shown in white, dark, and the background is white. It's called reverse video. All these are very easy to create. Here there are how many fields, and you are going to use tab. All these are editable fields. Okay, you can use all the editable fields. And I'm going to write something. 4, 5, 6. See what happens after writing 8 characters. That's the maximum length. What happened? All these are minute things which you have to notice. All these are unprotected fields. Okay, unprotected fields, because you can type. This is protected. You cannot type. These are display only fields. Okay, these are display only fields. This field is being carried out from previous screen. I wrote log on gamma 01, right? Gamma 01 was carried out from previous screen to here, but it is protected. We cannot type anything here. We type, it's showing wrong input. And these are display only labels. We are not going to have any field name for attached to it. It is never used in program because it's just for display only. But these are fields. These fields can be input to the program or output from the program. So there should be a field name for every fields. Here after typing, what happened? 8 characters. It went to the next field. So this is called skipper. We are skipping data from one field to another field automatically. Okay, this is called skipper. We are going to have a skipping technique. Similarly, if you type something here, see it skips to next field. It skipped to next field. And what happened after here? It allowed up to here. After this, it stopped. So there will be a stopper field here. So there will be a skipper field here. Skipper field here. What skipper field does? Skipper field takes control this to the next unprotected field. Similarly, a skipper field will be written here, and that takes control to next unprotected. After this field is exhausted, it takes control to next unprotected, and similarly it goes up to this, and here there will be a stopper field. So this is how the screen is designed. Okay, just come back. So all these are screens. Even this is also a screen. We have green, white, and this is turquoise color. Okay, this is turquoise color. We have function keys at the bottom, and it has a reverse video. We have underline here. We have title here. Okay, we can design whatever screen you want. And in olden days, for application programming, they created screens, and then they use screens through program. And whenever any in business office, they come early in the morning, and when they have to open mainframe screen and do the processing. If it's a bank, there will be a screen for fixed deposit, there will be a screen for recurring deposit or savings account, current account. Users have to log on to the screen, and they worked only using these screens. And slowly it has been changed to new technology. Okay, now let me move on to that. Creating a screen is very easy, so don't worry about that. So intensity. So intensity means this intensity is normal. This is intensity is bright. Okay, you can see that even this also bright. You can see the green is not very bright. This is bright. This is bright. So we can set the intensity. Normal means normal intensity. Bright means bright intensity. Dark means no display. But dark is not used widely. And we can say whether it's alphanumeric or numeric, whether field is alphanumeric or numeric. We can say whether field is going to be an unprotected field or protected field or a skipper field. So auto skip is a feature which we can be set as an attribute. So it takes control to the next unprotected field. We just saw there are labels, there are fields, there are input and output fields, and for at the end of every input field, we have a skipper field. That skipper field takes control to the next skipper field automatically. So unprotected means what? User can input data. Protected means user can't input data. Usually all output fields will be protected, and all input fields will be unprotected. Sometimes what happens if you have a big form, if you are filling a form, say 20 fields, after filling 15 fields, 20, I assume you have filled 20 fields, okay, and you press enter, or in the modern day we press submit button. What it does, the program is going to validate all the 20 fields. Suppose if all the 15 fields are correct, only 5 fields are incorrect, or only one field is incorrect out of 20. What it does, it turns protection for all the 19 fields. Protection will be on for all the 19 fields, and it will be protected. You cannot type again. This unprotected, and the field which has an error will be unprotected still, and the cursor will be placed in that field, and it will be highlighted also. Sometimes it will be in red color to tell the user that it has to be changed. So all these are screen programming, okay? Screen programming, which is used in all the technology in full stack development. In any project, there'll be a online as well as batch together. Or in online, the back office and other office will be working in daytime. We input data manually, and in batch, we are going to process the data collected during daytime. And so, as far as we are seeing attribute byte. A field can be either an unprotected field or a protected field or a skip field. It's very easy. When I write it, it's going to be very easy. It could be alphanumeric or numeric. Intensity we can set. So these are some. I told you attribute byte is 8 bits, right? So for every bit there's some meaning. So we are not going to see this at present. These are advanced CICS programming, and we can set the color also. So we can set the color. We can set blue color, red, turquoise, yellow. Neutral means white. And we can do a external highlighting like blinking, reverse video. The function keys whichever we saw on the bottom or reverse video. We can underline a field. So these are some attributes that we can set when you're creating a screen. And it's very easy to set. We just give color equal to blue, it will be blue color. That's all. Nothing, it's very easy. Coding is very easy. Okay, now let's move into defining a screen. Okay, anyway, I'll just show you the screen again. Okay, let's look at the screen. So this is a sample layout of a screen. Okay, a screen is going to be 24 by 80, and a map set is going to be 24 by 80. Usually there will be only one map per map set. So here, just tell me. So this is MNT MAP1 is a map name. Okay, is it display only or it's a field? MNT MAP1 is a display only label or it's a field? Field. It's a label. See, field means we need a field name, and the field name is going to be used in the program. Okay, so just display only field or it's a label. Just tell me label or a field. Field. Okay, it's a label. What about customer maintenance?
Label, sir.
Label means display only. This one you leave it. Type a customer number, then select an action and press enter. What is this? Again?
Label, sir.
Customer number is a label, action code is a label. What about this?
Field.
It's a field.
Fields.
Field means you are going to use in the program, and it's going to be input field. And this also option, action 1, 2, 3. This X also a field we are going to use in the program. What about this one? Add a new customer, change an existing customer. These are
Actions.
display only labels. And message is a field, output message field, and finally PF3. These are just labels. Okay, so here, so just before the labels, what is present? For example, here. So this is a screen 24 by 80. You can see 24 by 80. 1 to 24 and 1 to 80. Okay, here what is present? There's something present here.
Attribute.
Attributes.
Attribute byte.
Good attribute. What about here?
Attribute bytes.
Before every label or a field, there is going to be an attribute byte which is hidden, which you cannot see. What are different attributes like color, highlighting, or intensity,
Data type.
all are attributes.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So here there are two input fields. There are no output fields. I mean, only message is an output field. Here the screen is customer maintenance. Customer has to enter the customer number, and also they have to enter the action. Action can be 1, 2, 3. Add a new customer for 1, 2, and 3. What about this? Can you guess? After the customer number. So this is an unprotected field. Input.
Skip.
All in. That's good. This is also unprotected field. If you have more than one unprotected field, we'll be having a skipper field, which is going to take the cursor to the next unprotected field. Okay. Remember, if there are 10 fields to be input in the map, after every first 9 fields, there will be a skipper field. Skipper field is very easy to define. Just 1 byte a skip. And then it takes control to the next unprotected field. In the last unprotected field, we'll be having a stopper field. Stopper field also is very easy to define. Now let me move on to next screen. So here it's a customer maintenance, actually customer add. Okay, here this is add screen. Okay, it's a customer addition. Addition means, forget about this. I don't know what is this. We are going to, how many unprotected fields are there? It's a customer add.
7.
That's good.
7.
1, 2,
sir.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7. All fields are unprotected fields. Unprotected means user can type. What about this? What about this? Skipper field. What about this?
End.
End.
Stop. Field.
Stopper field.
Stopper.
This is skipper. And last will be stopper field. That's all. Very easy to define. Let me get into the coding now. I'm not going to show this. First, let me show a map and the coding directly. This one also is not okay. Okay, we'll take this map. Okay, we'll take this map. Usually when user gives a map for you, they'll be giving like this in Notepad. So they'll be giving Notepad like this in 24 by 80. Based on that, you are going to write the program, write the BMS program. So here these are labels, right? All these are labels. Okay, these are labels. What about this? Greater than symbol, input field. Input field. These are output fields.
Display.
Output fields. Okay. Actually, output fields will be protected. Input will be unprotected. Only you can type only here. So this is how user gives. So now let's see the coding. Coding is little easy. Let me open this. Open. So we are going to use BMS for coding a map. Okay, BMS stands for Basic Mapping Support. Basic Mapping Support. So we are going to use 3 macros: DFH, MSD, DFH, MDI, and DFH, MDF. So these are the three macros we are going to use. These are the assembler macros, very easy to use. Today, after writing, it's going to be, you are going to feel it's very easy. DFH MSD stands for data. So data facility holder map set definition. So DFH MSD is a macro which is going to define a map set. A map set is going to be in 24 by 80. 24 rows, 80 columns. A map set is going to contain how many maps? One or more maps. One or more maps. Okay, and DFH MDI is used to define the map. Define the map. So data basically holder map definition. So usually there will be one map per map set. Okay, so a map is going to occupy 24 by 80. The one I have shown just is a single map in a map set. And TFH MDF stands for data basically holder field definition. Data basically holder map definition field. Okay, map definition, where the cursor? Map definition so these are the macros we are going to use. There are rules and regulations like how we have JCL, COBOL, VXAMP, GDG everywhere, DB2. We have some rules because it's a machine, so we have some rules and guidelines. We have to follow the rules so that it is going to work without any errors. So a map set is nothing but it is going to contain one or more maps. We are going to create map sets, and map sets are predefined. It should be defined in PPT. So as far as here training is concerned, administrators already created a map. Some 2 maps, I think. Let me open the Gamma credentials. So we can use only those names. We cannot use any other name. So whatever he has defined already, those are the only. So here for us, he has defined 2 map sets. These are map sets G01 MPS1 or G01 MPS2. Only 2 map sets he has defined. But I have, I have access. I can define any number of map sets. Okay, but whatever is required, I will define. So and for defining a field, we are going to use DFH MDF. A field can be either a display only field or label or user defined field or data entry field. I will say data entry field. So data entry field will have field name. Okay, will have field name because it could be either input or output fields. Data entry means it could be an input or output field. It will have field name. Display only field or label. I'll say display only label to make it very clear, easy. Or just only for display purpose. They will not have any field name attached to it. Only data entry field like input or output will have a field name. Okay, there is no point of giving a field name for display only labels. Okay, because those are not going to be changed in program, just for display purpose. But input and output fields are going to be changed in program. Okay, there will be only one MST in the entire for a single map set, and there can be more than one MDI. MDI stands for map definition, but if you use the entire 24 by 80, it's going to be only one map per map set. This map set should be defined in PPT. So that's what I told a table, program processing table. It's called PPT. I'll again come to this after some time. PPT, all programs and map sets should be defined in PPT. And there's something called program control table, in which called as PCT. So in here, all program and transaction code should be linked here. And we have file control table. We call as FCT. Okay, in FCT here, all VSAM files should be declared here. So these are some major tables which is being used for defining your components, and it is done by administrator. So programs and Mapset should be defined here. Unless it is defined here, we cannot use. When yesterday some people faced issues because the definition was not correct. So we have to do a redefinition. Similarly, program control table. Here, transaction code definition, tran code defining, as well as we are going to link tran code to a program. So, for example, G01 PGM1 is linked to G011 transaction code. All these are done by administrator, need not worry about that. And Mapset should be defined in PPT. Okay, these are some interview questions also. Mapsets will be defined in PPT, transaction code and program will be linked in PCT, and FCT will contain file definitions. So here we are going to use assembler macros. So DFH MSD is a macro or a function, MDI is a macro, MDF is a function. With these three functions, we are going to define a screen. So here MSD stands for data facility holder Mapset definition. So it is for every this will have a Mapset name. Okay, for every every PDS member we write only one Mapset, and this can contain more than one map. And map is going to contain more than one field. Or whatever fields you are seeing should be declared in map. So whatever your fields you are seeing, whatever fields you are seeing here should be declared under the map. So this is a map set. MNT map1 is a map, and in this map the dimension is line 24 and column 80, and we have to define all these fields, display only fields as well as data entry fields. Display only fields will not have a field name, while data entry fields will have a field name. And data entry fields can be either an input field or an output field. So these are the fields will have a field name, and it will be processed in program. And as we saw earlier, when you receive data into the program using receive map, you are going to receive the input variables, whichever is imported by user. And when we send data from program to screen, all the output variables we have to fill and then send it back to the user. Let me see. So I'll tell you some keywords and then we'll take a break. Okay. So we have to write BMS Mapset in a PDS member. Okay. And here, we have to start this DFH MSD, DFH MDI, DFH MDF in column 10. Okay. And if you are going to continue a map any DFH MSD or MDI MDF parameter definition in next line, we have to give X in column 72. Okay, we have to give X in column 72. In fact, not X, you can give anything in column 72. You can see it is column 72. Filling the rules. So if you are adding in PDS member, first statement is going to be print no gen. Print no gen means don't generate more coding in the spool while compiling. So we are going to write all the macros in column 10. The parameters which are supposed to follow the macro, it has to follow, we can write in one line. If you want to continue next line, give some character in 72 and then add comma here and then continue in next line. Okay, when you continue in next line, you are supposed to give in column 16. So this is column 16. Remember, this is column 10. And if you want to continue next line, just put comma add x here, x is a standard. You can add anything, and then continue in next line in column 16. Okay, column 16. Here, anything which is in column 1 is nothing but a name. So, what is B01 MPS3?
Display only field.
No, it's not B01 MPS3. I saw a name. It's a Mapset name. So MSD stands for Mapset definition. This is Mapset name. What about EMP, ENQ? It's a
Map definition name.
map name. That's good. Map name. It's a map name. So we give names in column 1 to, again, as you are aware, name cannot be greater than 8. Okay, a name cannot be greater than 8. But map name should be only 7. That's a rule. So map name cannot be greater than 7. All these you'll be used to it. Okay, map name cannot be greater than 7. If you write greater than 7, it is going to throw an error while compiling. So make sure map name is not greater than 7. It should be maximum 7. And the DFH MSD macro, there will be only one macro in the entire member, and even MDA also is going to be one macro, because we are going to use one map per map set, and you can have as many MDF as you want. And finally, again you write DFH MSD type equal to final end. So this is how we end all assembler macros. So we start with the same, whatever keyword we are starting, we use the same keyword at the end, and then we write end. End means end of coding. Okay, now I'll tell you some variable as part of MSD. So here language equal to COBOL means what? Some are easy. Language equal to COBOL means
Language is COBOL.
Program language.
yeah, COBOL, programming language. That's all. We can have. Yesterday we saw, right? Yesterday CICS can be used in C, C++, Java also, and it can be used in. It is used in PL/1 assembler, which are other mainframe languages. So we have to write language here. Mode equal to in-out means what?
Input output mode.
That's good. It means a map is both input and output. Sometimes the map will be only input. Sometimes map will be output. Sometimes the map will be input output. Mostly all the maps will be input output, because at least we'll be having some data as an input. At least we'll be having error message, the warning message as output. Okay, but there are some maps. For example, if you press F1, it is help screen, right? Help screen is just output. There is no input at all. Okay, it's just for read only. There are very rare cases which is just input map or output map. Otherwise, all maps are going to be both in out. So remaining I'll tell you later. Okay, remaining I'll tell you later. So print nogen, we start with print nogen. We write the map set DFH MSD MD MDF in column 10, and then followed by parameters. If you don't have space, continue in column 16 in next line, and add X in previous line. Comments, these are comment. If you give star in first line, it's comment. So here, let me get into DFH MDI. So here size denotes, what do we mean 24, 80?
24 rows and 80 columns.
That's good, 24 rows and 80 columns. Suppose if you want to split the map into two, say horizontal, can you tell me what will be the number here? For example, I think you didn't understand my question.
24, 40.
Suppose this is a map, 24, 80. Suppose I want to split into half, exact half.
12, 40.
That's good. 1, 12, 12, okay. 12, 80. Horizontally. So line 1 column denotes where the map starts. Okay. From 24 by 80 from where? From top. So from here, 24 lines, 80 columns. So we have to mention which is the starting. That's what is given in line and column. Line denotes where the map starts, and column 1 again where the map starts. From line 1, 1 comma 1, we are having 24 by 80 as a map, and map name is EMP ENQ. So DFH MDF stands for data facility holder map definition field. Position 1 comma 1. So in position 1 comma 1, what does position means?
Row position and column.
Row and column, that's all. Row and column. So everything is easy, self-explanatory. And length means length of the variable. Attribute is, I'll tell you what are the attributes. I'll just write the attributes. ATTRB denotes attribute. I'll just write it here. So I'll write some common major variables, major parameters: DFH, MSD, DFH, MDI, and DFH, MDF. So this will have map set name, and this will have map name. This will have field name. Field name for what? In MDF will be having display only fields. Field name for data entry fields.
Output fields.
Data entry fields, not display only. And no field name for
Labels.
labels. So here in DFH MSD, DFH MDA, MDF, here we can see size equal to row comma column, and line equal to a number, column equal to a number, which denotes where the map starts. See here language, and there are few more variables. And here MDF, in MDF we have length, we have position, row comma column, length equal to number, and then we have attribute, and we have initial, and we have color. Color and highlight also. Highlight, I don't remember the spelling. I think GST. Okay, these are some parameters of DFH MDF. So map MSD will have a map set name, MDA will have map name, MDF will have field name for data entry fields, for label only fields, no field names. And map name will be maximum 7 characters. This will be 8 characters maximum. Map set is defined by administrator in PPT table, program processing table. It's 8 bytes. Here for your training purpose, for me, I can use only G01 MPS1, G01 MPS2. These are definitions you have already made in the system. Map name, user defined. You can give any name. Field name, user defined. You can give any name. So here length denotes the number of characters. Position denotes row comma column. So there are attributes. Attributes can be either unprotected or protected or a skip. So this was we saw. Unprotected means it is given for which type of field? Unprotected input field, and protected is given for output field. Skipper field, and sometimes input fields also will be given protected. You understand, through program, because when there are 20 fields and 19 fields are correct, one field is in error. What we do in program, we make 19 fields as protected, and we place the cursor in the error field and highlight it. Okay, all these are some advanced programming, not very tough. It's easy, but in 5 days we cannot do. If we have 10 days, we can do. So unprotected, protected, or escape. We can then, and we have something called pick in, pick out also. So I'll write pick out. Pick out means picture class out. We can give ZZ, Z, ZZ9 for number. Here we can give number. If you don't give NUM, by default it's going to be alphanumeric. Okay, either it's going to be number or alphanumeric. So if you give NUM, it denotes number. And we can give IC. Can you guess what is IC? IC?
Indicator circuit.
Indicator what? Indicator. No.
Still in
I-
integrated circuit, sir.
Integrated circuit. Say why? That is not going to come here.
Information control.
Information control. For a field, C stands for cursor. So IC could be,
Input controller. Input.
it's not input, it's initial cursor. So if there are 10 fields in the screen, we have to tell where the cursor should be present. You understand? Usually it will be the first field. That's the rule. But we can set it could be in any field. So that's called initial cursor. So you can give unprotected or protected or escape. If you give number, if it's going to be automatically a number, it is not going to accept any alphanumeric automatically. Okay, if you give number, numlock will be on in your keyboard automatically, and it is going to accept only numbers. IC stands for initial cursor. And we can give normal, bright, dark. Normal is the default. If you want to give bright,
Numeric.
no, I'm saying what I'm bright, BRT. You can just give BRT. BRT means bright. Bright display. So these are some attributes. Initial value, we can give anything. You can give within quotes. Usually we give underline for input variables. Or it could be anything. That's the initial value. Color is going to be turquoise, blue, red, green, all are colors. Highlighting means the common highlighting which we use is underline or reverse video. Reverse video means I've shown the function keys, right? The background is turned white and foreground is dark. That's called reverse video. And blinking also is there. Blinking, cursor blinking or field blinking will be in highlighting. So these are some parameters we are going to use as a part of these macros. We are going to write assembler macros. The macros will be in column 10, and there are parameters attached to macros. The parameters, if you cannot write in one line, you can continue next line in column 16. And after every parameter, give a comma and then continue next line. And also make sure you put a character in column 72. Usually we use X. And field name is user defined, map name is user defined. You define whatever name you want. Field name, map name should not be greater than 7. That's the meaning behind that. Field name can be 8, can be up to 8. You define whatever field names you want, and those are the field names you are going to receive into the program, process, and send back from the program to the screen. So using this, we can write very easily, and BMS is very easy to write, and you can just compile. If you compile and execute, it is going to show the screen. So what we just saw the high level layout of a screen. A screen is going to have labels and the fields. Fields can be input and output, and there will be a message at the bottom, and function keys we can handle. Because in screen programming, a user is shown the screen. User can use any keys in the keyboard any number of times. Program shouldn't handle properly. That's why we are giving some guideline. What are the keys and what is the function behind that? We can set the functionality in the program. That's easy. And blocking other keys also is very easy. And a program will have titles and headings, whatever input and output fields based on your discussion with the user. And we are going to use BMS macros, assembler macros like DFH, MSD, MDI, MDF. MSD is going to define a mapset. Mapset names are already defined by administrator. MDI denotes map name. Here we are going to create only one map per mapset. MDF denotes a field name, and there can be a display only fields or a data entry fields. And MDF is going to contain parameters like length, position, attribute, initial, car, etc. And a map is going to have, apart from display only fields and data entry fields, it's going to have skipper field and stopper field. We'll see that. And for every field, there is going to be a attribute byte which is hidden. You want to use color, parameter in DFH MDF, you have to use DSATs. PI, OA, PFX is a system variable. Okay, just ignore that. So what is the map name? EMP.
Employee employer.
From here, the map set starts. Okay, I'll just show you how it works. Probably I'll just take. Is 67890. So I'm going to execute this map. This map is already present in the system. So DFH MDF, position 1,18, length equal to 16, attribute equal to protected. See, for all display only fields, we give attribute protected. Okay. So here, how the length is arrived? The length of this employee details 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. So in 1,18 means what? Row 1, column 18. In row 1, column 18, for length of 16, we have a protected field and the initial value is employee details. How do you write this in the map? In row 1,18. So,
First row, 18th column.
18th column. Is it correct? What position denotes?
Yes, sir.
Position denotes starting of attribute byte. Your actual value will be starting after the attribute byte. So, right, 1,18 means 1,90. This is 19, okay? This is 20. The 3 is 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80. 24,80. This is line numbers 10, 20, 24. So remember, 1,18 means it should start from 19. Line 1, 19th column. Okay. DFH MDF, position 2, row 2, column 18, length 16 equal to. Again, attribute protected. So since this is continued in next line, we are giving X here and a comma here. And remember, this should be in column 16. Okay, where this equal to will be present?
Under the employee details.
Under the employee details. 2,
19.
19. Starts from 19.
19. Then DFH MDF, position 4, 15, length equal to 13, color turquoise. This is the initial value. This length is 13. That's why we give length in 13. Fourth row, 15. This is 4th row. 15, 16. It will be like this. 16 means this is 16. So this is 15. So 10, 15, 16. And next field. Next field is a value. Okay. Position 4, 31. Length equal to 6. Highlight equal to underline. Underline means it's going to underline the value. See, we can give initial. This both are correct. Same. Initial equal to. You give like this, or highlight equal to underline. Both are same. This is unprotected field. A protected field, unprotected field. Actually, it's unprotected field. No issues. Employee 4, 31. Length 6. Where it comes? 31 means
32.
32, 6 bytes. So usually, okay, we can 4, 32. So 4, same line, 32 here. 30, 31, 32. 6 bytes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So this is how data will come. And then it's not an unprotected field, it's a protected field, and color is turquoise. Sorry, it's a protected field and highlight equal to underline. That's all. Okay, but it should be an unprotected field, I think. It's a map is incorrect. So this is how we have a because we have skipper field here. So where skipper field should exactly come? Skipper field should come here immediately after this. Immediately after this. Skipper field is one field which is hidden, and skipper field will also have attribute. Okay, skipper field will also have attribute. After this, for any unprotected field, we give a skipper field in 4,38. 38 means 39. Length equal to 1. In 38, we'll be having attribute of skipper field. Okay, 4,30. 38 means this is 38. Here there will be attribute, and we have skipper field. But skipper field will be hidden. Okay, both attribute and skipper field will be hidden, but it's present there. Now let's come to the next line. So since this is a field, we have field name. Okay, these are just display only, no field names. This is a field, it has a field name. Remember to give field name for every field, because those are the values which come into the program or go out of the program. Then let's see 6, 15, length equal to 13, color turquoise, first name is the initial value. So we have row means 16 and column is 15.
16.
So it should be 16. So in 15 attribute byte will get stored. Then we have field. 12 is a length. Highlight equal to underline. Underline means it's going to underline. Okay, it's going to underline. I'll just make sure 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It underlines. First name. Okay, first name. Now 6,31, length equal to 12, highlight equal to underline. So 31 means it's going to start from 32. Same. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 12 only. This is the initial value. Highlight equal to underline means it's going to have an initial value of underline. Usually it is noted to make sure it is an input field. So if it's input field, it should have been unprotected, but here it's the administrator has created as protected. It's not correct. So if it's only if it's unprotected, we need a skipper field. So skipper field will be here. Okay, skipper field attribute will be here, and skipper field will be dark, which will be hidden. Okay, even if then you have to give skipper field here. Usually we give only after unprotected fields, not after protected fields. Probably I will make this as a unprotected. Just hold on. It's not correct. Let me change. So I'll make this field name. Whichever field name we have, field name unprotected. Whichever we have field name unprotected. Then only it is correct. He has an inquiry. Oh, inquiry as an unprotected. Then skipper field is not required. Doesn't matter. What I will do, I'll remove this. Length equal to, I'll remove this. It is 70. We'll make it as none. Unprotected is fine. Something like this. Since it's employee number, I'll make it as unprotected number. I'll keep initial cursor also here. Now let's look at. So I have made this as unprotected number and initial cursor. This is the initial value. Either write highlight equal to underline or write initial equal to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Because the length is 6. So since it's unprotected field, at the end of the field we are supposed to give a skipper field. Similarly, we have then we have a label, first name, then we have an unprotected field. So we give a skipper field. Here skipper field is not required. We can make it as a protected field, stopper field. So stopper field we give just protected. Skipper field will be having a skip. Both are 1 byte in length. A skipper field will be given immediately after every unprotected field. A stopper field will be given in the last unprotected field. So then we have some initial. These are not required. I'll just remove this. Okay, here I'll just write few more. F1 help. Reverse. So you have to count this.
You have to change the length now, sir.
Yeah. I'll make it as 24, 10, last row. Okay. You can give in any order, but I'll. (22,1) or 23,1). The one row before the last row, length equal to say 75. We are having the message field, color equal to yellow. And then in last row, we are having the display of the function keys. So we have to count this 1, 2, 3,
19.
4, 5. That's good. We have a robo here. Save. So I'll just show again. So we have DFH MSD, type equal to ampersand syspam, mode equal to inode, control free KB, free keyboard, language. All these parameters never change. Mostly it's same in every program, every map program. Remember to write everything in column 10, the macros in column 10. Then we start MDF. MDF will be display only fields. Display only fields doesn't require any skipper field. Okay. Then we have the labels as well as field names. So we have labels and field and skipper. Okay. This will be a okay. This will be a set. Label, a field, and a skipper field. Where is the field? So this is a label. Then we have field. Then skipper field. Skipper will be hidden. It's 1 byte attribute a skip. Here is only stopper field, the last unprotected field. We are having only 2 fields. At the bottom in 24th line, we are having in column 10. 10 means it's going to start in 11. You are going to have F1 equal to help, F3 equal to exit as the initial value. In last line, in column 11, somewhere here, you are going to have this. Here message is hidden. Okay, message is hidden. Message is going to be in 23:175. 1 means it is going to store attribute byte here. From column 2 onwards, you are going to have 75 data. Going to be here. These are output fields. Output fields we give using greater than symbol. Going out. Greater than symbol. So it's a small map where we have a title and underline. We have label, field, and skipper field. Label, field, and stopper field. Remember, we'll be having label, field, and skipper field or stopper field in a single line. And once you write one set, label, skipper field, and stopper field, you can just repeat all these 3 lines again for the next line, next row. You understand? The column is not going to change. Only the row number is going to change, or line number is going to change. First write only one set properly. One set includes label, a field. Field means it is going to be operated in the program, and then a skip or protected. Let's compile this. Any mistakes we have? Okay, we don't have any mistakes. Let's compile this. So compilation is going to be in job lib. So which is going to be used for compiling a map?
Mapcom.
Mapcom gamma 01 dot kicks dot maplib, I think. Maplib. So copy this member for compiling. Refresh. E01 MPS1, it's already there. Just submit. Axis is 0. If you go to spool, there will be 2 steps, I think. Just hold on. If you have errors, okay, there are 4 steps. If you have errors, it will be showing in ASM map. In Sysprint, in ASM map, you can see the errors. You have to scroll down. And errors, you can find note. You just find note, it will be showing error. Now there is no error. So we have the source code here. Error will be shown immediately here. There will be a lot of lines included. These are assembler lines. Because I told you, right, these are macros. DFHMSD is a macro. This macro contains assembler program. This is the assembler program. CICS, A mode 31, R mode. These are assembler program. It has expanded. Similarly, MDI is a macro. It has expanded here. We wrote only this. It has expanded means it will show plus. Okay, we need not know this at present unless you are going to work in assembler programming language. Okay, now let's go and see the output. So you have to log on to CICS region. So here, so whenever you change a map, again, like what we did yesterday, you have to write CEMT set. You can write program itself. Program G01 MPS1. Okay, you can write program itself. Mapset also is treated as program. And both Mapset and program entries will be in PPT, program processing table. So if you want to see the Mapsets, so there are 2 ways. One way is to write a program and send map and then see. But right now we haven't started writing a program. Okay, but because for writing a program we have to learn few more extra things before writing a small program itself. But right now we have to see whether map is working or not. If you want to see if map is working or not, there's a system command called CECI. So CECI stands for Command Execution Command Interpreter. It's a command. It's a command interpreter. So I'll just write the command for send map. So command for send map is exec CICS send map name Mapset.
Sir, output fields it is less than symbol now, sir.
That's right. See, whatever I said is correct. And if it's input output, we'll be having plus symbol. Okay. These are nomenclature used in software industry. Whatever Hari said is correct. Looks like Hari is very active. What you had it for during the break, Hari? Any energetic drink? Calculating very fast,
Nothing.
identifying mistakes. Send map name, mapset name, from output structure, but from is not required. Okay, here now what we are going to write, we are going to write a command CICS send map name, mapset name. Okay, just hold on. This is the command. We are going to write this command. If you want to see the map, one way is write a program, but program is too early to write. So right now we are focusing on only creating a map. So we are going to use CICS command, CICS command. CICS stands for command execution, command interpreter. Yesterday I wrote CEMT, command execution master terminal. So I'll explain the commands. There are few more commands which you have to know as a part of CICS training. But right now we are going to use CICS to test our map. What is map name? Let's go and see. Unless you have very good memory, even I didn't see. What is map name here?
G01 MPs.
What is map name? Just now I praised you.
EMP.
EMP is map name. Mapset is G01 MPS1. Okay. Log on to this CICS send map EMP ENQ Mapset G01 MPS1. This is a command.
Sir, G01, sir.
You are active. I understand. Press enter. It is going to show a screen like this. It is going to ask you something about to execute command. You have to press enter. So this is the screen. 24 by 80. This is a default color. Blue is default color. Emp ID is turquoise. Emp name is turquoise. This is underline, I think. This is initial value. This is highlight equal to underline. Just a difference you can see, right? I wrote initial value. Let me see. Let me show the coding. We had employee details and equal to. Okay, then we have emp ID. So we have next to 3 emp ID colon. Initial value is this. So when you give initial value, it is showing like this. When you're showing underline, it is showing like this. So here we have this is attribute byte is there. Here attribute byte is there. Here attribute. Here attribute of skipper field is there, which is hidden. Here next after this we have skipper field, which is hidden. Here we have an attribute of stopper field. Next we have stopper field. Here we are going to have an attribute of the last line. Here the message is hidden because there is no initial value for message. If you give an initial value, it will show here. And here this is turquoise color. This is also turquoise color. Probably we gave turquoise. See, emp ID is turquoise. First name is turquoise. It's turquoise. And what else? Cursor. IC. Since we gave IC in this field, what happens? It is going to have cursor here. See, I'll just come out, F3 to come out. Command execution complete. It shows command execution complete. Again, I'm going to enter this. About execute command. See the initial cursor. It is pointing to this. Because we gave IC in this line. It's unprotected because we can type. Okay, it's not. We didn't give free KB. It's not allowing us to type. It's a number, right? Okay, we gave num. That's why it's not allowing me to type A. If I type A, it is showing numeric only. Since we gave num, so What happens after writing 6 characters? The cursor moves to first name. Did you see why? Because of skipper field here. Here it's a first name is 13 bytes, I think. First name is 12 bytes. 12 bytes unprotected. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. That's all. It stops. Say it stops. If you don't give stopper field here, what happens? The data will get overflow. You can type anything you want up to here till last line. You have to have a stopper field for sure. Let's add one more data. Okay, one more data. So as a part of this, it created a structure. I told there are two maps, right? Physical map and symbolic map. So here we are going to have a screen programming. In screen programming, data is going to come from screen. We are going to send data to the screen. In last week we had data from files and databases, where data came from files and databases to the program. Okay, and how it came? Through host variables for DB2, and for vSamples through a structure. Similarly, we have a structure for this. We have a field name, right? We have field name for these two. What are the field names? EMP, and name as the field names. What happens when this compiles? When this compiles G01 and MPS1, it is going to create a structure and then store in copylib automatically. Okay, it is going to create a structure. That structure is going to be used in receive and send map. The same name it is going to create. I'll tell you how to read the structure. If you see MNO, this is the input field. Whatever we are getting in NPMO is which shows X of 6. Okay, probably we have to give pick in equal to 9. I mean pick in 9. I mean 9 of 6. It is going to take only 9 of 6. Then we have name field. Where is name field? Name I, 12 bytes. Then we have message field. Message I, 75 bytes. So this is input structure and this is output structure. I'll explain this structure tomorrow. Okay, I'll explain the structure tomorrow. Don't get confused. There are some extra additional variables, map variables. So what you have to know, when you compile a program, it is going to create a load of the map, as well as it is going to create a structure. Like how when you create a DCL gen, we are having a host variable structure. Similarly, we are going to have a map structure. So that structure is going to include all the field names whichever you have defined in Mapset. Now what I'm going to do, I'm just going to change the map. I'm going to add one more field, emp number, emp name. So here these 3 sets I'm going to repeat up to this. Okay, I'll write last name. I'll make it as 8, 8, 8. So I'm not disturbing anything else. Anything else I have to change? Here I will change the field names. Field name should be F name. Field name cannot be greater than 8. L name. These are field names will be in that structure, and you are going to use the structure. What?
Skip, sir.
That's good.
F name.
F name, make it as A skip. But whatever is very alert. Because only last field should have protected. Till then, have A skip. So, compile 0. Go to the screen. F3. You clear. What else we have to do? CMT set program. Mapset also is considered as program. G01 MPS1 new normal. Press F3. Whenever you have function keys, follow the function keys. Press F3. and then clear the screen, and then you write your CECI send map EMP Mapset G01 MPS1.
Bracket is missing.
Oh. Bracket is missing. Enter. So we have same. Similarly, we can have any number of lines. See any doubts on this? See, I'm going to type data. It is going to allow only numeric because I gave num IC. Okay. And then we skipped automatically. It skipped automatically and stopped. So this is how we design a screen. In olden days, they have designed very complex screens. Everything was done through mainframe. There are plenty of complex screens. If you go to internet, you can see plenty of screens created. I think I've already shown you sometime, right? Sometime back when we started initially. So these are three macros we are going to use. These are subparameters of the macros. Position denotes the presence of attribute byte. It's very slow. Okay. Write a program to calculate income tax and salary on hand based on monthly salary. Slab rate is given. Okay, here. Income tax CTC on hand. So this should be an output field, right? 2, 3. So I think it's a little bit confused. So this is input field. You are going to give us an input. So this is output field. Whenever you have number, you give pick in. Okay, pick in you give. So what we have to give? You have to give pick in. I'll just change it. Change the program. For number, use pick in. Comma pick in equal to 9 of 6. Always it creates x of 6. And for okay, it's an input field, right? Pick out. If the input field, give pick in. If the output field, you give pick out. For example, if you have output field, we give pick out equal to, you can give any manner, z. So whatever you want, you can give. So accordingly, you give the length. If you give like this, the length is going to include command dot also. It will be 9, 11, 12, 13, 14. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Every character included. So we can use pick out and pick in. Pick out for output variables, pick in for input variables. Then only the data is going to come as a number into the program. Then you can add, do the calculation. So this is the input and these two are outputs. Okay, even here also it's going to be output variable. Output means it should be protected. So after you create this map and create one more map, the employee map. So this is the map I'm going to give. Your employee, this is input. This is given properly. Your employee number is input. Employee name, gender, location, project salary is output.